For today's vocabulary, I don't have AI on my camera, so it's I go to the old-fashioned way. Number one, so this is from the video from Gordon Ramsay and the F word. Number one, to consolidate, which is basically you try to take your process and make it more efficient. You combine different things and different processes, put it together, try to do it all at once, and make it more effective. In the US, we also have this term for people that have a lot of different loans or credit lines that they're paying on. We call it consolidating loans, and it's basically like if you have a car loan and a house loan and student loan and a credit card, and you're paying on all these things. Some banks will actually offer to buy all of those loans and offer you a pretty good interest rate, so that you could just pay it all together with a lower interest rate as well. So some people like to do that. They like to consolidate their loans. They have too much money in too many places. Consolidating your loans kind of helps you keep track of it a little bit easier. They don't do it here. I've checked. Yeah. Number two, to incubate, is you're letting something develop or grow. I often think of like an egg that's hatching. It has to incubate first, right? It needs some warmth, and it needs some time to develop. And then once it's done incubating, then a bird or a chick comes out. Number three, pivotal. This is when something was extremely important to the success of something. So I like to describe this in terms of sports, especially like in basketball. If you have to turn, and sometimes you have to pivot, you have to keep one leg down and you turn your body or your foot. And so that's called a pivot. It's just like one foot is down and you pivot and turn a little bit on it. So another way to describe pivotal is when something is an important turning point in a situation that turns the odds or the favors towards the success of something. So, for example, people often say that the email scandal in the elections 2 years ago was pivotal to Donald Trump's winning the presidency. Number four, to dwell on something. To dwell on something is when you can't stop thinking about something. You think about it very deeply for a very long time, and usually it's because it's something that bothers you quite a bit. You are upset or saddened or angered by it, and you can't stop thinking about it. Sometimes we say that you shouldn't dwell on the past, meaning you shouldn't think too hard about the past. You should think about the future. If you have a pretty bad breakup, people dwell on that. If you lose a job, people dwell on that. Next, number five, scrutinize. So to scrutinize something is to examine it. Examine the details and of something thoroughly and quite well. Sometimes this is used in a very serious or negative way, because what happens is, let's say you turn in a report to your boss, and your boss loves details, and it's kind of stressful because your boss wants to go through every detail of your report, and by doing so, by looking at every